Hello and welcome back to Flipped Psychology. I'm Miss Lee, and this video is about why we dream. We are still in Unit 2, Biopsychology domain, and this is Section 12. We have one objective today, and that is to explain the functions of sleep and dreams. So the first really major takeaway that I want you to come out of this video experience with is that we need REM sleep. We talked about REM sleep as one of the stages of sleep in our last video. If you haven't seen that video, I encourage you to go back and look at it. It's section 11. But we do need REM sleep. Most scientists believe that we need REM sleep. From research, we know that when we are deprived of REM sleep and then allowed to sleep, we show increased REM called REM rebound. Very often we will go straight into REM, even though usually we don't do that. Now, this is in cases of extreme sleep deprivation. REM rebound is when we have this increase of REM sleep following sleep deprivation. Also following REM sleep deprivation. So even if someone is allowed to sleep, but they are awakened every time they approach REM, we see this phenomenon happening. How do we know when someone is approaching REM sleep? Well, if you'll recall in our last video, there was a graphic that showed the different sleep cycles. We've talked about what EEGs are before, and we can actually measure our sleep cycles through electrodes and through an EEG, an electroencephalogram. So when sleep researchers see someone approach REM sleep, they can actually wake them up. And these research studies have been done before. What ends up happening is when someone is left to sleep uninterrupted, they start out almost immediately into REM sleep. Interestingly enough, most other mammals experience REM sleep, which is mostly biological. If you've ever seen, if you have a pet dog or cat, sometimes they'll move their feet or their paws, sometimes they'll twitch, and it's kind of widely accepted that this is when they are having REM sleep. It doesn't, however, happen in fish. Their behavior is much less influenced by learning. So when we are deprived of REM sleep, some things that we have found out through research, besides the disruption in our sleep cycles, is that we learn more slowly, so our cognitive abilities are influenced, and we forget what we learn more rapidly. So we learn slower and we forget more rapidly. Why do we dream? This is a topic that a lot of people are curious about, and I admit it, I am too. So we're going to talk about some of the most common dream theories. First, we go back to good old Sigmund Freud, and what he said was that dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. We talked about the unconscious in a previous video. So according to the psychoanalytic theory, Freud believed that our dreams reflect our true desires and urges. Usually they are unpleasant desires and urges or unacceptable desires and urges. And he believed that these wishes that we're dreaming about unconsciously not only could be unacceptable, but could be painful. So bringing up painful memories. He believed that people dream in symbols, which he called a latent content. And dealing with symbols is easier than dealing with unacceptable wishes. By the way, what we dream about literally is the manifest content. So according to the biopsychosocial approach, during sleep, neurons fire in a part of the brain responsible for movement and vision. The neurons are random, so those firings are totally random, and the brain just tries to make sense of them. And basically what it does is it weaves a story or a dream. It doesn't have to have a meaning, it's just trying to make sense of those neurons, so there's no deeper purpose. We most often dream of events or problems of the day or that you've been experiencing recently. The brain uses everyday matters to give structure to these random firings. Psychologists caution that there are no hard and fast rules for interpreting dreams, even though it's fun to try, it's fun to look at what this latent content could possibly mean, but we really can't be sure that an interpretation is correct. So in today's video, what we covered was some of the more popular or common theories about why we dream. In our next video, we will be talking about drugs and consciousness. I can't wait to see you then. Bye for now.